Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show and welcome to your market report. Thank you guys for being here. And today is January 16th, 2019. And, Brexit. The markets right now are pricing in a second referendum or a second vote on Brexit. I'm going to tell you what. They're pricing it in already. And the pound, too, is pricing it in. Let's get a look at the charts. Let's open them right here, and let's take a look at what's going on. I don't know why the markets are pricing this in already. They're believing that we're going to actually have a second referendum in Britain. But for a second referendum, what we need is right here. We need the number of MPs to be able to come in and vote for a second referendum. And from senior sources right here, it says senior sources within the People's Vote campaign say they are well short of the number of MPs they need to force a second Brexit referendum. And it says their estimates suggest that they have just 175 out of the 650 MPs willing to back a second vote. That's a long way to go. They only got 175 of the 650 that they need. I'm going to tell you, it looks to me, I mean, I'm not a betting man, but it looks to me like they're too far short of the 650 members of parliament that they need for a second referendum. And so why is the markets pricing this in? You know, I just don't understand. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. Anyway, let's get right into it and take a look at what's going on in the markets today. And the first place we're going to go is cryptocurrency. Just going to talk about it real quick. It's basically not doing anything. Every day that goes by and Bitcoin is running in between 34, 35, 3,600, is drifting along in this range, it makes it less likely that we're going to have this crashing defeat in Bitcoin where Bitcoin goes down to like 2,000 bucks. I mean, I'm hoping for that for more than one reason. One of the reasons is if Bitcoin goes down that low, when the next crisis starts to occur, it's probably catch Bitcoin on the upswing. So if Bitcoin goes down to 2,000 bucks and it starts a little bit of an upward trend and the next crisis hits, there'll be more people buying in because it's something that's moving up rather than moving down. And where Bitcoin is priced right now, it actually has room to go down. So if it does stay at 35, 3,600, when the next crisis hits, it has room to go down. That's not good. If it goes down now prematurely, that would be a good thing for Bitcoin. And when the next crisis hits, Bitcoin's on the upswing. It can make all the difference in the world as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, let's take a look at the silver price. Oh, first, wait. Let's go do coin market cap. $122 billion today. Bitcoin dominance of 52.4%. And we see the coins in the red, but just ever so slightly. Litecoin is at 31.89 today. We're looking at Ethereum at 124 bucks. Bitcoin Cash at 129 and EOS at $2.44. Stellar is at 10.7 cents each. XRP is at 33 cents. And so now let's move on to the silver price today. You know, it started out today kind of bad, and that's because the dollar was gaining ground. But she went down to a low, and now she's making her way back up right now. She's up 4 cents on the day so far at $15.59. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is $1,291. It's up $2.30 on the day, and it's rising right now. Rising against a rising dollar. That's kind of a little bit unusual. Let's move on to the stock market today. Okay, got the wrong chart. Here we go. And what we see is a stock market that's up 98 points. I don't think this rally has got much more legs left in it, to tell you the truth now at this point. I think that it's getting toward the end of this rally, and I think we're getting ready to see another down move in the market coming right up. Let's take a look at the oil price today and see what oil's doing. You know, we see a decline in the price of oil, and it made its bottom in at the 24th of December. We made a bottom of $43.93, and now we're back up to $51.64, or $51.91. We're down 20 cents on the day, but you see this little rally back in oil right here. It's not much of a rally. If you take a look at the chart overall and you line her up, it's more or less just a bounce in the deflating oil price. I don't know. I think this oil price very well could continue to deflate even further. After this bounce is over, we're going to have to wait and see. But my tendency is to think that the oil price is going to even go a little bit lower yet before it makes bottoms in, you know. Now let's take a look at bonds and rates today. And what we're looking at is the bond yields today are rising. And we got the 10-year at 2.74%. It's up 3 basis points. This is a pretty good little rise in the yields, except for the short-term yield. The short-term yield is falling. We got all the long end of the yield curve rising. This is the way I figured it's going to go. I figured it's going to go like this. And I figure that the long end of the yield is going to start to rise rather sharply pretty soon. So this yield curve inversion, you know, I'm watching it, but I'm not so worried about the yield curve inversion. Keeping my eye more on the LIBOR rate. Anyway, let's take a look at the U.S. dollar today. And what we're seeing here is the dollar rose earlier, but now it's starting to decline back. You know, we're headed toward a sovereign U.S. dollar crisis. And probably the biggest reason for this dollar crisis is, you know, China and Russia have linked together now. They're working together. And you've got countries like North Korea. North Korea is creeping up on us. North Korea has got an insidious plan, you know. And their plan involves keeping Donald Trump at bay by promising him peace, you know, promising and dismantling a few of their older nuclear sites and stuff that they didn't really want to work at anymore. From what I hear, they've done a report, and they've said that by the end of but 1 year from now, 1 year away, that North Korea will have 100 thermonuclear weapons. 100 thermonuclear weapons, and they have the delivery systems. So it seems like that North Korea, with all this talk of peace and stuff, has accomplished their purpose. They really haven't went anywhere with it. Sure, they've went around shaking a bunch of people's hands, hugging people. They went over to South Korea, and the leader of North Korea hugged the leader of South Korea and shook hands and everything else and signed, ratified, oh, peace, 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 and everything else. Meanwhile, in the factories in North Korea, they've been popping these nuclear weapons out just as fast as they can. And this is all part of their plan. Their plan is they're tricking us. They're playing us for a bunch of fools. And very soon, they're going to have such a bristling amount of nuclear weapons that all of the countries in that particular region, like Japan, places like Guam, every place else, is going to be threatened by these nuclear, especially Seoul, South Korea. You know, it's going to be threatened by these thermonuclear warheads that North Korea is building that can be launched and can be delivered in a matter of minutes. Actually, very quickly. If he launches a nuclear weapon at Seoul, South Korea, probably at least 400,000 people would die almost immediately. And he could have that weapon there delivered from his site in North Korea to Seoul, South Korea in a matter of probably just a matter of 10 minutes or less if he wants to push the button on his desk. And this is what we're dealing with here. And it hasn't went away. There's been all this talk of peace, but that's just a ruse. He's playing us for a fool, you know, and meanwhile, they're building these weapons as fast as they can. They're going to have over 100 thermonuclear weapons by the end of this year, by the 1st of 2020. And you can look this up and you can find out what I'm saying is verifiable and true. I mean, back when I was saying that they should go in and take care of North Korea, they only had about maybe 10 or 15 or 20 nuclear weapons. Now they're going to have 100. Soon they'll have 500. Go down ahead in the future 3 or 4 years. So we're going to have to, at a certain point, if we keep playing around with North Korea and letting them play us for a fool, at a certain point we're going to have to sit back and say, hey, you know what? North Korea is a nuclear power. Get over it. Just that's the way it's going to be. Because he's reaching a critical mass, a certain point, where North Korea is going to be like an old hound dog attacking a porcupine. You know what I mean? The old hound dog's going to come away for the worst. You know, because the porcupine's bristling with weapons. That's the way with North Korea at this point. So anyway, listen. Thank you guys for listening to this report. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.